You, the chosen one, stand at a crucial moment in your spiritual journey. You are not randomly placed in this world. There is a purpose to your existence, a divine mission that stirs within you like a quiet whisper or a burning fire. Yet, this journey is not without its obstacles, and among the most perilous are the people who seek to diminish your light. I strongly encourage you to watch until the very end. You're a special person, and it's important to open your third eye so you can recognize those negative influences during your soul awakening. Mean-spirited individuals may not always appear as obvious threats. They can be disguised as friends, colleagues, or even loved ones. Their presence in your life may seem tolerable or even necessary, but make no mistake, they drain your spiritual vitality. This message is an urgent call to action. If you are to fulfill your divine mission, you must immediately remove these negative influences from your life. Being a chosen one is not about superiority or self-aggrandizement. It is a humble acknowledgement of a higher calling. You are sensitive to the spiritual dimensions, receptive to energies that others may not perceive. This heightened awareness comes with a responsibility to guard the purity of your spirit, for it is through you that light and love can flow into the world. The traits that define you, empathy, intuition, a strong sense of justice, and an innate yearning for truth, are not mere personality quirks, but spiritual gifts. These traits draw others toward you, often those who are in need of healing or guidance. However, not everyone who enters your life does so with pure intentions. Some may come to exploit your kindness, while others may resent the light that emanates from you. It is often said that we are the sum of the people we surround ourselves with. This is especially true for chosen ones, whose energy fields are highly susceptible to external influences. Every interaction with a mean-spirited person, every time you allow negativity to touch your spirit, there is a cost. The cost is not always immediately apparent. It may manifest as a subtle fatigue, an unexplained anxiety, or a growing sense of disconnection from your spiritual path. Over time, these effects accumulate, forming a barrier between you and your divine purpose. Like a bird struggling to fly with a weight tied to its leg, you may find yourself unable to rise to the heights you were meant to reach. The spiritual consequences can be profound. Your intuition may become clouded, your ability to manifest blessings may diminish, and your connection with the divine may feel distant. In essence, mean people not only hurt you emotionally, they hinder your spiritual progress. The damage inflicted by mean-spirited people is not merely a matter of hurt feelings or a bruised ego. It is an energetic entanglement, a spiritual obstruction that blocks the flow of divine guidance and weighs down your spirit. When your energy field is compromised, you are no longer operating at your full capacity as a chosen one. The radiance that once flowed freely from within becomes dimmed, and what was once a clear spiritual vision becomes hazy. You find yourself navigating life in a fog, struggling to discern the right path, all because someone else's negativity has clouded your spiritual atmosphere. For chosen ones, this is particularly dangerous. You are here to fulfill a higher purpose, to embody a light that helps illuminate the world for others. But how can you fulfill your mission if your light is constantly being drained or dimmed by those who refuse to embrace their own healing? Every interaction with negativity adds another layer of heaviness to your spirit, making it harder to maintain the frequency of love, joy, and peace that you are called to embody. You may not notice it at first. It starts slowly, perhaps with a sense of unease that creeps into your day, a heaviness that you can't quite shake. It becomes a feeling of being off, where things that once brought you joy now seem dull or uninspiring. You may find it harder to meditate, to pray, or to engage in any spiritual practice that connects you to the divine. This is not just a mood swing or a bad day. It is the accumulation of energetic debris, negative emotions, doubts, and spiritual disturbances that has attached itself to you over time. As these energies accumulate, they create a kind of spiritual clutter. This clutter fills your inner sanctuary, leaving little room for divine energy to flow in and renew you. Imagine your spiritual life as a sacred garden, a place where your soul finds nourishment. Mean-spirited people act like weeds in this garden, spreading quickly and choking the life out of everything else that grows there. If you do not pull these weeds out by the root, they will continue to grow, robbing your garden of its vibrancy and beauty. There is a spiritual principle known as energetic contamination. This occurs when you allow others' negativity to linger in your life for too long, thereby contaminating your own energy field. Energetic contamination is like spiritual pollution. It poisons your thoughts, emotions, and even your physical well-being. It can manifest as chronic fatigue, mood swings, or a series of unfortunate events that seem to follow you around. When you are energetically contaminated, you may find yourself attracting even more negative experiences, as though you have become a magnet for low vibrations. This is not a coincidence, but a consequence of tolerating harmful influences in your life. The universe responds to the frequency you emit, and if your energy is tainted by toxicity, you will find it difficult to manifest the blessings that align with your higher vibration. The most significant danger of keeping mean people close is the gradual disconnection from the divine. Your relationship with the divine is the source of your power, your wisdom, and your peace. It is the lifeline that sustains you on your spiritual journey. But when you allow negativity to fester in your life, it disrupts this sacred connection. It's as if you're trying to listen to the whisper of the divine through the noise of chaos. Your prayers may feel as though they fall flat, lacking the depth they once had. Your spiritual authority, your ability to speak with conviction, to bring healing, to manifest change becomes weakened. This is not because you are any less chosen, but because you have allowed others to drain the very essence that fuels your divine calling. When you tolerate toxic people, you compromise your own spiritual integrity. Negativity doesn't always come in the form of overt hostility or malicious intent. Sometimes, it appears as subtle comments, disguised criticism, or even friendly advice laced with hidden resentment. It can be the quiet manipulation that leaves you questioning your own worth or the passive-aggressive behavior that sows seeds of self-doubt. These subtle forms of negativity are just as harmful, if not more so, because they can slip past your spiritual defenses undetected. Every time you overlook these behaviors, you are effectively giving them permission to remain in your life. Tolerating even small acts of mean-spiritedness sends a message to the universe that you are willing to compromise your peace. It is a form of spiritual neglect, where you prioritize someone else's comfort over your own well-being. As a chosen one, you must be vigilant about the energies you allow into your sacred space. Your spiritual journey is not just for your benefit, it is for all those who will be impacted by the light you carry. When that light is dimmed, the whole world loses something precious. In spiritual traditions, there is a principle known as the law of release. This law teaches that sometimes, to receive greater blessings, you must first let go of what no longer serves you. By releasing toxic individuals from your life, you are not only protecting your own energy but also creating space for higher vibrations to enter. This is an act of faith, trusting that by letting go, you are making room for something better, more aligned relationships, deeper spiritual insights, and greater opportunities to fulfill your purpose. Releasing mean-spirited people is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of self-respect and spiritual maturity. You are not responsible for their healing, nor can you sacrifice your own growth for the sake of keeping the peace. In fact, your willingness to let go may serve as a catalyst for their own spiritual awakening. Sometimes, it is only when you remove your light from someone's life that they realize the darkness they are living in. To choose yourself is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of choosing the divine within you. You are affirming that your life, your energy, and your spiritual path are worth protecting. This is not about being harsh or unforgiving, it is about recognizing that you have a sacred duty to maintain the purity of your spirit. Your spiritual journey is a testament to the divine's work in you, and it deserves to be honored and safeguarded. When you choose to release mean-spirited people, you are choosing to uphold your spiritual integrity. You are choosing to align more fully with your divine purpose, to clear away the obstacles that have kept you from manifesting your highest potential. It is a declaration that you will no longer allow your light to be dimmed by those who cannot see its value. This choice is not just urgent, it is essential. As you begin to distance yourself from toxic individuals, you will notice a shift. It may start as a lightness in your heart, a sense of relief that you had not anticipated. Your spiritual practices will feel more potent, your prayers more powerful. The divine presence that once seemed distant will come rushing back into your life, filling you with a renewed sense of purpose. Opportunities that seemed closed off will suddenly open, and blessings that were delayed will begin to manifest. This is not magic, it is the natural consequence of removing the barriers to your spiritual progress. When you are free from the weight of negativity, you can finally rise to the heights you were meant to reach. The cost of allowing mean-spirited people to linger in your life is too great for a chosen one to bear. Your light is needed, your purpose is vital, and your spirit is worthy of being protected. The time to act is now. Remove this burden from your life immediately, and step boldly into the fullness of your divine calling. The world needs you to be at your brightest, your most vibrant, and your most authentic self. Choose to release, and watch as the doors of divine opportunity swing open wide, ushering you into a season of unprecedented spiritual growth. You may wonder how to distinguish between those who genuinely need your help and those who are merely draining your energy. It is not always obvious, for mean-spirited people often wear masks of charm or feigned kindness. Yet, there are signs that can reveal the true nature of their influence. Distinguishing between those who genuinely need your help and those who are merely draining your energy requires a deep sense of spiritual discernment and self-awareness. Mean-spirited people often hide behind masks, making it challenging to see their true intentions. However, by paying attention to specific behaviors and emotional patterns, you can uncover the real impact they have on your life and begin the process of setting yourself free. Here are 10 extended insights into recognizing and dealing with these types of individuals. Emotional manipulators have a keen understanding of your weaknesses and vulnerabilities, often exploiting them to maintain control over you. They might use guilt to make you feel responsible for their well-being or use fear to keep you compliant. Sometimes, they may employ excessive flattery, praising you for things they know will make you feel appreciated, but only as a means to bind you more closely to them. These tactics are often subtle and can leave you feeling conflicted, doubting your own emotions. The key to breaking free from emotional manipulation is to become aware of these patterns. Ask yourself, do you feel a sense of obligation to this person that goes beyond normal caring? Are your interactions filled with subtle threats or emotional blackmail? Recognizing these signs is the first step toward reclaiming your emotional autonomy. Constant criticism does not always come in the form of direct insults or harsh words. It can be subtle, disguised as constructive feedback or honest opinions. Mean-spirited individuals will often question your decisions, undermine your spiritual experiences, or make you feel small through veiled remarks. Over time, these small criticisms accumulate, creating a narrative in your mind that you are not enough, that your spiritual insights are not valid, or that your path is somehow misguided. The damage of constant criticism is cumulative. Like water eroding stone, each comment wears away at your confidence, leaving you questioning your own worth. Recognizing this pattern involves being honest with yourself about how you feel after conversations with this person. Do you walk away feeling uplifted, or do you feel diminished? Your emotional state will reveal the true nature of their influence. An energetic drain is perhaps one of the most subtle yet profound ways mean-spirited people impact your life. After interacting with them, you may feel exhausted, anxious, or spiritually weighed down, even if the conversation seemed normal on the surface. This is because these individuals are not engaging with you on a genuine level. Instead, they are feeding off your energy. Energetic vampires, as they are often called, may not even be aware that they are draining others. Their own emptiness drives them to seek out the light and vitality of others to fill their void. The first step toward liberation is acknowledging that the fatigue and heaviness you feel are not natural. They are the direct result of someone else drawing from your spiritual reservoir. By setting boundaries, you protect your energy field and maintain your inner strength. Not all mean-spirited people appear malicious. Some may come across as extraordinarily kind, helpful, or even selfless. However, this kindness is often transactional. They give only with the expectation of receiving something in return, whether it be your time, attention, or validation. The moment you do not meet their expectations or start asserting your own needs, their demeanor shifts. Feigned kindness creates a false sense of security, making it difficult to recognize their true nature. To uncover the truth, observe how they react when things do not go their way. Do they become passive-aggressive, withdraw their kindness, or resort to emotional manipulation? True kindness is unconditional, whereas feigned kindness is contingent on you fulfilling their hidden agenda. For chosen ones, spiritual insights are a vital part of your journey. When someone consistently questions or dismisses your spiritual experiences, it can create doubt in your mind, leading you to second-guess your intuition. Mean-spirited people may do this subtly, by making jokes about your beliefs, changing the subject when you speak of spiritual matters, or outright challenging your experiences as invalid. This kind of undermining is particularly damaging because it attacks the core of who you are as a spiritual being. If you find that someone is consistently dismissive or critical of your spiritual journey, it is a clear sign that they do not respect your path. Your spiritual experiences are sacred, and they deserve to be honored by those around you. Emotional inconsistency is another hallmark of mean-spirited individuals. One day, they may be warm, affectionate, and supportive, while the next day, they are cold, distant, or even hostile. This creates a sense of emotional instability in your life, leaving you uncertain about where you stand with them. The constant shift between kindness and cruelty can be exhausting, making it difficult for you to maintain your own emotional balance. This push-and-pull dynamic is a form of manipulation. By keeping you off balance, they maintain control over your emotions, making you more likely to seek their approval. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for breaking free from their influence. You deserve relationships that are consistent, supportive, and nurturing, not ones that leave you guessing. Mean-spirited people often have a knack for creating drama or presenting problems that never seem to have a solution. They may frequently come to you with their issues, seeking your advice or support, but never actually take steps to resolve the situation. Instead, they keep the cycle going, continually drawing you into their chaos. This dynamic is a form of energetic theft. By involving you in their endless problems, they are using your energy to sustain themselves. Meanwhile, you are left drained, with little to show for your efforts. It is important to recognize when you are being used as a perpetual sounding board for someone who has no intention of changing. Your energy is sacred, and it should be reserved for endeavors that lead to growth and healing. As a chosen one, you likely have a deep sense of empathy and compassion for others. Mean-spirited people exploit this trait by setting guilt traps, making you feel responsible for their feelings or situations. They may say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would," or "I guess I'm just not important to you." These statements are designed to manipulate your emotions and make you feel obligated to put their needs above your own. Guilt traps are effective because they prey on your natural desire to help others. However, it is important to remember that you are not responsible for anyone else's happiness or healing. By setting boundaries and refusing to be manipulated by guilt, you honor your own spiritual path and maintain the integrity of your energy. In healthy relationships, there is a balance of giving and receiving. When you consistently find yourself being the one who gives more, whether it's time, energy, support, or resources, it may be a sign that the relationship is draining rather than uplifting you. Mean-spirited people often take without giving in return, leaving you depleted while they continue to thrive off your efforts. It's essential to assess the balance in your relationships. Are your efforts being reciprocated, or are you always the one who goes the extra mile? If the latter is true, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship and consider whether it is worth maintaining. Your spiritual journey deserves companions who contribute positively to your growth, not those who only take from it. Mean-spirited individuals often lack respect for boundaries. They may invade your personal space, interrupt your quiet time, or disregard your need for solitude and spiritual reflection. They might push you to do things you are not comfortable with or show little consideration for your feelings or limitations. When someone continually oversteps your boundaries, it is a sign that they do not honor your autonomy or respect your spiritual needs. Setting and enforcing boundaries is not about being harsh, it is about protecting the sacred space of your soul. Those who truly care about you will respect your boundaries because they understand that doing so is an act of love and consideration. It is no coincidence that you attract certain people into your life. Your light is like a beacon in the darkness, and while some are drawn to it for warmth and healing, others come with the intent to extinguish it. The spiritual law that light attracts darkness is not about moral judgment, it is an acknowledgement that those who walk in darkness are naturally drawn to the light. There are people who subconsciously resent your spiritual gifts because it forces them to confront the darkness within themselves. Rather than seek their own healing, they may choose to attack you, the one who reflects back their own shadows. Their negativity is not a reflection of your worth, but a sign of their inner turmoil. Your spiritual light illuminates not only the beauty in others, but also the shadows they would rather keep hidden. When people are confronted with parts of themselves they have not healed or acknowledged, they may respond with hostility, jealousy, or resentment. This reaction is often unconscious, it is not necessarily a deliberate choice to target you. Instead, your presence becomes a mirror that reflects their inner struggles, making it difficult for them to avoid confronting their own darkness. Being aware of this dynamic helps you understand that the negative reactions you encounter are not about you personally. They are about the discomfort others feel when faced with their unresolved issues. This awareness allows you to maintain your compassion without internalizing their negativity. There are those who come into your life because they see something in you that they lack: hope, love, or spiritual clarity. These wounded souls may be drawn to you for healing, seeing your light as a refuge from their inner turmoil. While it is noble to help others, it is important to recognize the difference between offering support and being used as an emotional crutch. If someone is consistently relying on your light to sustain them without making efforts to heal themselves, they may be draining you of your energy rather than truly benefiting from your guidance. To protect yourself, set clear boundaries and encourage others to engage in their own healing journey. Your role is not to fix them, but to inspire them to find the light within themselves. When they begin to take responsibility for their healing, they will grow stronger and more resilient. There are people who, consciously or unconsciously, attempt to sabotage your spiritual growth. They may do this through subtle discouragement, planting seeds of doubt, or even by creating unnecessary conflicts. These actions are often motivated by the discomfort your growth causes them. As you ascend to higher levels of spiritual awareness, your light becomes brighter, and the contrast with their unresolved darkness becomes more pronounced. The sabotage is not necessarily intentional, it can be an unconscious attempt to maintain the status quo, where they feel more comfortable. If your light continues to grow, it may challenge their beliefs or expose parts of themselves they are not ready to face. Recognizing this pattern allows you to remain steadfast on your path without being derailed by their negativity. The spiritual law of reflection states that people often react to others based on what they perceive within themselves. When someone is filled with inner turmoil, they may project their fears, insecurities, or anger onto you. Your light serves as a catalyst, bringing these unresolved emotions to the surface. Their hostility or negativity is not a reflection of your spiritual state, but a projection of their own unresolved issues. Understanding this law helps you maintain a sense of inner peace. Instead of taking their negativity personally, recognize that it is a manifestation of their own struggles. This awareness allows you to respond with compassion rather than reacting defensively. There are those who subconsciously resent the spiritual gift you possess because it reminds them of the potential they have not yet realized. Your abilities to heal, intuit, or manifest can evoke feelings of inadequacy or jealousy in others. They may not consciously understand why they feel this way, but their behavior toward you often reveals it. They may belittle your gifts, dismiss your insights, or even criticize your spiritual practices. It is important to understand that their resentment is not truly about you. It is about the gap between their current state and the potential they have not yet actualized. By recognizing this, you can avoid internalizing their negativity and continue to honor your gifts. Remember, your spiritual abilities are meant to uplift and inspire, not to be hidden because they make others uncomfortable. One of the greatest challenges for those who carry a spiritual light is maintaining compassion in the face of hostility. When you encounter mean-spiritedness or resentment, it can be tempting to respond with defensiveness or withdrawal. However, your light is not meant to be dimmed by others' negativity. Remaining compassionate does not mean tolerating harmful behavior, but it does mean recognizing that the hostility directed toward you is a reflection of others' inner suffering. By maintaining a compassionate stance, you allow your light to continue shining brightly. This does not mean becoming a martyr or sacrificing your well-being. Instead, it means responding to negativity with understanding, setting boundaries, and continuing to uplift those who are ready to receive your light. As a beacon of light, you must establish spiritual boundaries to protect yourself from those who would seek to drain your energy or hinder your growth. These boundaries are not about shutting others out but about maintaining the integrity of your spiritual path. A strong boundary can take many forms, such as limiting the time you spend with certain individuals, shielding yourself energetically through meditation, or being selective about what spiritual information you share. Boundaries are an act of self-respect and self-preservation. By setting limits on how much of your energy you allow others to access, you preserve your vitality and ensure that your light remains bright. Remember, your spiritual journey is sacred, and not everyone is entitled to share in its depths. Every interaction is an exchange of energy. When you engage with others, there is a flow of spiritual, emotional, and even physical energy between you. If someone comes into your life with unresolved darkness, that energy can easily transfer to you, especially if you are empathetic or compassionate. This dynamic can leave you feeling drained, heavy, or even anxious after the encounter. Understanding energetic exchange helps you become more intentional about the people you allow into your life. Not every person who seeks your light deserves unrestricted access to your energy. By being mindful of how you feel after interactions, you can better gauge whether someone is uplifting you or depleting you, and adjust your boundaries accordingly. Detachment is not about becoming emotionally cold or indifferent. It is about remaining centered and not allowing others' negativity to disturb your inner peace. Practicing detachment means that you can engage with those who seek healing without absorbing their darkness. It allows you to be present and compassionate without becoming entangled in the emotions or struggles of others. By cultivating detachment, you maintain a strong spiritual core that is less susceptible to external influences. This practice does not mean that you care any less, but that you are choosing to care in a way that protects your light. Detachment empowers you to be a source of healing without sacrificing your own well-being. There will always be those who are uncomfortable with your spiritual light. They may criticize, mock, or even actively oppose your path. However, your light is not meant to be hidden because it disturbs others. You are called to shine as brightly as you can, regardless of the darkness that surrounds you. When you embrace your light fully, you give others permission to do the same. The opposition you face is often a sign that you are on the right path. It indicates that your light is strong enough to disrupt the status quo, challenging others to confront their own shadows. Rather than being discouraged by resistance, view it as confirmation that your spiritual journey is making a real impact. Continue to walk in your purpose with courage and conviction, knowing that your light is needed more than ever. These insights reveal that the reactions of others to your spiritual light are often reflections of their own inner state. Understanding this dynamic allows you to navigate relationships with greater wisdom and protect your energy from those who seek to dim your light. By setting boundaries, practicing detachment, and embracing your gifts, you ensure that your spiritual journey remains true to its divine purpose, illuminating the path not just for yourself, but for others who are ready to follow. Delaying the decision to remove toxic people from your life is a form of spiritual procrastination. Each day you tolerate their presence, you give them authority to speak into your life, to influence your mind, and to affect your spirit. The law of agreement in spiritual traditions teaches us that what we tolerate, we permit, and what we permit, we empower. When you allow toxic individuals to remain in your life, you inadvertently agree with their negativity. It is an energetic contract that binds you to their influence. The urgency of this message lies in the recognition that your spiritual progress cannot fully unfold until you break these contracts. Begin with prayer or meditation, asking for divine guidance to reveal who in your life needs to be released. Trust that your intuition will lead you to the truth. Communicate clearly that certain behaviors will no longer be tolerated. Boundaries are not about pushing others away, but protecting your spiritual well-being. Detach from the need to justify or explain yourself. Mean-spirited people may not understand your decision, and that is okay. Your priority is your spiritual health. Engage in practices such as smudging, prayer, or energy healing to cleanse yourself and your environment after ending toxic relationships. This will help remove lingering negative energies. Replace what was lost with uplifting activities, supportive people, and spiritual practices. Rebuild your environment with intentional positivity. As you remove these negative influences, you will notice a renewal in your spiritual clarity. The fog that once clouded your vision will lift, and your connection to the divine will strengthen. Your spiritual gifts will begin to flourish anew, and you may find that opportunities, blessings, and insights come to you with greater ease. This process is not just about subtraction, it is about making space for something greater. You are creating room for true friends, genuine supporters, and divine encounters. What you let go of is insignificant compared to what you will gain. Fear is natural when it comes to letting go, especially if the person in question has been in your life for a long time. Yet, holding on to someone out of fear is a form of bondage. You were not created to live in fear, you were created to walk in freedom. Loneliness is a fear that haunts many, but remember, you are never truly alone. The divine presence is always with you, guiding, comforting, and preparing new connections that will elevate you on your spiritual path. Stories of transformation are powerful, for they give hope and insight. Reflect on testimonies from others who, after removing toxic influences, found new life, spiritual breakthroughs, and a deepened relationship with the divine. These are not mere anecdotes, they are reminders that your struggle is not in vain. You too can experience the liberation and blessings that await when you make the brave choice to let go. In conclusion, the call to act with urgency is unmistakable. Procrastination only serves to amplify the obstacles on your journey, stifling your unique potential and purpose. The path of the chosen one, albeit challenging, is illuminated by the promise of fulfillment and the profound impact you can make on the world around you. Courage and determination are your steadfast allies as you confront and distance yourself from negativity that threatens to obscure your light. By liberating yourself from those who drain your energy and diminish your spirit, you create a space where divine opportunities can flourish. As you protect your spiritual gifts and rise to meet your higher calling, you embark on a transformative journey toward freedom to express your true self, to inspire others, and to make your mark on the tapestry of existence. The time to act is indeed now. Seize it and embrace the extraordinary legacy that awaits you. Your destiny is not merely important, it is essential. The world needs your light shine boldly and without reservation.